bought the iPad Pro about a month ago, specifically for all the cool things you can do with drawing and hand lettering, so I thought I'd share the apps that I found. On the main screen I have Calendar, Photos, the Etsy app for my Etsy shop, DuoLingo so I can remember to study Dutch on a daily basis, and iBooks because I keep all of my portfolio work in PDF format and then upload it to iBooks to show clients in interviews. And I also keep practice sheets, PDFs on my iPad as well. I also downloaded an app called Draw Calendar. I use it specifically for keeping a to-do list for my lettering business, for Etsy, for Instagram, for YouTube, for all those social media outlets. I just find it's nicer to kind of write it out, make some doodles if I want to, rather than typing it out. I have an art folder, which is where I keep all the drawing tools, but I'll show you that last. I have everything in the Apple section together, as well as the tool section for things like printing. Font book is just a place you can search fonts. Word you actually can download for free when you have smaller tablets. And then I also have iMovie, that's what I use for all my video stuff, and VSCO Cam for editing photos. I also keep all my travel apps together, and an entertainment section, which is just some videos and one game. I only have one game on my iPad. I'm not really a gamer, but this one I really love because it's so visually pleasing. The music is really, really relaxing, and it's kind of more of a game where you have to think about strategy. You show this young girl where to go in the castles to get to the finish line, and it's a little bit tricky sometimes, but it's a lot of fun and really relaxing. Then I have my social section where I keep Facebook, Pinterest, and an app called Planoly, which is where I upload images for my Instagram feed just to plan it and make sure it looks good. But back to the art section. I have Paper, which is the first app I bought at my old iPad, and I still have it, but I don't use it that much. Adobe Capture I haven't used quite yet. Type drawing is just a kind of a silly, fun app where you can draw with words. So it's kind of fun. You can type in your own message if you want, or you can pick a message that they have, like I love you, and then use your stylus to create word art. I also have Font Maker, which is a really simple way to create a handwritten font. You can make it with vector as well, with anchor points. So you just draw on the letter, and you can change the thickness, and you can also change the brush type. And then when you're done, you can export it as a real font and use it on your desktop and wherever it exports as a true type font. I also have Pixelmator, which is kind of like a Photoshop app for your tablet. You're able to do a lot of image manipulation, for instance, distorting it, gives you all of those options, and then you just paint it on there. So it's definitely nice to have when you want to just kind of play with a photo. Adobe Sketch is really great for painting, and it does have some cool brushes. A lot of people use it for watercolor because it has this really cool effect that makes it feel real. You can add water to it to make it expand and thin out. You can choose the brush size, your color, and you can also choose the flow, which is the opacity or how much water you want to have in the watercolor. So there's a lot of cool things you can do as far as kind of painting and getting really creative in this app. The next app I recommend downloading is Amaziograph. It's really great for patterns and for example, a mandala. You can create something really cool really quickly, and you can use their palette to mix colors to get the exact color you're looking for, which is kind of fun. And you just draw right on the grid, and it gets repeated in all of the different sections. Another good app is Adobe Draw, specifically because you're able to create vector illustrations. It has some good brushes, and it has the ability to work with Illustrator, so you can just grab your brush. It's a similar situation as Adobe Sketch, and once you're finished, you can share that using the share icon, and then you click on Adobe Desktop Apps and click Illustrator Creative Cloud. The next app you should download is Procreate. It's everybody's favorite, and for good reasons. It's really responsive with the Apple Pencil as far as pressure goes, and the amount of brushes they have to choose from are pretty much unlimited, because you can take what they have and manipulate it to make a brush that suits you. And you can also export those brushes for other people to download. Because this app is so popular, there's tons of videos on Instagram and YouTube where you can watch people get really creative and see how they do it. They have a really cool feature where you can export the video, and it shows your work from the very beginning, step by step. It acts a lot like Photoshop in that you have a bunch of layers, and each of those layers has effects, so you can have overlays, just like Photoshop. I also have Campon here. I'm trying it out because I create stamps on Etsy, so I can import an image and then throw some text underneath for a return address stamp. But it's also good for video thumbnails or just playing around with text and images. The last app I'm showing you is called Penmanship. This is a really fun app for just sitting around watching TV and practicing different types of calligraphy styles. It's really simple. You just trace over their letter, and then it gives you a grade on how well you did, and then you can just move on to the next letter and just keep doing that. It kind of gives you an idea of how the letters are formed. So it just kind of gets your hand used to that movement, which then you can translate to paper and a real pen and ink. The app has a few calligraphy styles to choose from, so it's great for practicing. And that's it. Hopefully this helps you if you just bought an iPad Pro and you're looking for apps to download.